I love collecting, retro collecting, but there are a lot of negative aspects to it. We've covered many of them here: obsession, debt, anxiety, depression, but there can also be a lot of joy. Connection, connecting with the past, with yourself, your own history and experiences, connecting with community, people like you, into the same niche things you are, who share that history, those experiences, people who share your love. That is what we're going to be talking about this week on the Videocast, the joy in retro collecting. We'll be discussing some of the more positive aspects of collectible hobbies, looking at different collectible hobbies, some related nostalgia, as well as the relationship between memory and time. As always, I'm your host Brian, and this video is being produced to promote my book, The Nostalgia Economy, which is all about retro collecting, how we put memories into objects, how our memories are monetized, the different ways they're collected, traded, and sold. Physical copies are available, but digital copies, the ebook and audiobook, can be downloaded over at patreon.com/pixandportraits. There are also tons of videos like this over there, further exploring the themes of the book. Other exclusive videos should have one up in the next week or so, revisiting the malls of my life. $5 gets you access to all of that and helps keep everything here running. So if you have the means, please consider becoming a patron. You can also watch a video of the audiobook here on YouTube by becoming a member. $1. Like, comment, share, follow us on Blue Sky. Everything helps. Now, I have been a collector most of my life. From the time I was very young, whether I cautiously knew it or not, I was collecting. I've collected a bunch of different things, products, objects, but my favorite thing to collect, and I think this goes for a lot of people who enjoy things from the past, but I love collecting and curating memories. It's a big part of what I do here and on our other channel. I've always had a great autobiographical memory. I see patterns, I make connections, remembering what I was doing, who I was with, when I experienced something. A movie, as an example. Movies are great for this, especially if you saw them in theaters, because there is a date or time frame when they were released, so if you have a related memory, you can just look up when that movie was playing and have a rough idea of when that memory took place. It's not perfect, there are obviously some variables, but memory isn't perfect either. Memories are free to collect. They haven't found a way to fully monetize them, at least not yet, maybe an access fee eventually, but we do have a compulsion to buy or own something representative or something that embodies the memory. Carrying on with our movie example, a VHS, DVD, something we can put on a shelf and look at and remember, maybe a poster, something tangible that reminds us of an experience or time in our lives. That's the biggest reason why people collect retro, nostalgia. I mostly operate on the idea that nostalgia is a form of grief, but like any emotion, it's not that simple. It can also be an expression of joy. Pretty obvious statement for most of you, I'm sure. For many people, the past is flawless. Life is hard, being an adult, aging, the responsibilities that come with quote-unquote growing up, retreating inward or backward to when you were younger, your childhood. It's an escape, a necessary one. We talk about manufactured realities, how we make up our own version of what the past was. Some create a safe space that they can tap into whenever the stressors of life start getting to them. Collectibles can be the physical embodiment of better times, the good old days. It's a very stressful time to be alive currently. It's not great out there. And if you are surrounding yourself with toys or games, things you grew up with, if that brings you joy, brings you peace, even for just a moment, there is value in that. These things are our history. They have informed who we are, the times we've lived in, and we're not alone. The internet has done a lot of harm to collectible hobbies, but it has also brought a lot of people together. There was a time pre-eBay that things were extremely difficult to track down, especially if you didn't live near a major city. Yes, sources were less saturated. You could find some crazy deals. They were out there, but there was also a lot less sources. Collecting also used to be a very niche thing. There is a lot of excitement, passion, joy in collecting, finding a grail, getting one of those crazy deals thrifting, completing a set, but it's very isolating if you have no one to share it with. Having social media groups, subreddits, where we can interact with each other, share our hauls, our collections, experiences we have, that's one of my favorite things about collecting. I love seeing other people's taste, how they organize their collection, the different ways or things that they collect. Since the pandemic, these hobbies have taken off, and there are conventions now, meetups, swaps. At least one happens every weekend in my region. You can see stuff in real life, stuff you haven't seen or can't afford, meet people, make deals. It's a community. I'm very much into collecting video games, and I've loved that people much younger than me have gotten into it. People in their teens even, 20s, that weren't even born during the 1990s, and I'm flattered that they think that the period that I lived in was so cool, and that they share the passion that I have for it, and that they're keeping it alive. You can also share this with your own kids. I'm childless, happily, but I do have kids in my family, and it has been a blast introducing them to my collection, taking them to stores, explaining why Pokemon games are worth hundreds of dollars. I'm not somebody who's motivated by money. Collections can be valuable monetarily. If you find joy in that, all the power to you. Personally, I hope the retro markets crash, so certain items become more affordable, or collecting becomes more niche again, more fun, because I enjoy it. I'm happy with where I'm at with my collection. I still have stuff I'd like to get, but nothing I really want or need. But I do miss it. I miss how it was. I miss going to yard sales and not having to show up before it's even set up to find anything. I miss going to thrift stores without seeing 5 resellers going through scanning everything with their phone, competing with bots for new things. It did used to be a lot more fun, but that doesn't mean I still can't find joy in it, that I still can't enjoy what is left of it, because it is still a lot of fun to me. Anyway, we've dwelled on the negatives of collecting a lot, so I did want to take a look at collecting through the lens of joy. It's all part of my effort to not be a thief of joy. Let me know what you think. What about collecting or your collection brings you joy? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, share, and again, please consider supporting us. Patreon.com/pixelportraits is the best bang for your buck. Years worth of exclusive videos and digital copies of the Nostalgia Economy. Click through here to watch the audiobook. Toss us a buck. Everything helps. As always, thank you so much for your interest in this channel, and thanks for watching. See you in the future.